Hi, it's Mrs. Stitches or Sheila. Today's date is October 12th, 2025. Hi, everybody. Uh, welcome to Vlog-O-Ween. I slept in this morning, so it is around just coming up to 10 o'clock now. Meant to film earlier. Oh, I don't have my watch on. By the sign of my wrist, it's yes, I meant to film earlier because I want to beat the sun. The sun comes around and either do it earlier or later, but this time I wanted to do it earlier because we had a trick or treat yesterday. So yesterday I stitched on my treat, which was Christmas quilts. Today is another treat again. So I wanted to show you the progress in between. So I have my Advent, I have a new start, I have one finish, and I have a whip. So a little bit of everything is kind of perfect. And a story. So let's start off. I wanted to show you this first. So on our table at that Thanksgiving dinner there were all these tiny little packages. Now I'm sure they bought these somewhere, but they're so cute. I'm going to open up one here. I don't know if anybody's ever seen these before. They have a little thankful string. It probably took some work to tie those all on, unless they bought them that way. There we go. Thankful is what that says. And then the little box has its little handles make it close. And inside, I've already opened another one, is 3 candy corns, a caramel, and a chocolate. I don't mind candy corns. I wouldn't say, I'm probably one of the odd people that is impartial to them. I don't hate them and I don't love them, because everyone always says either you love them or you hate them. I can eat them, but I wouldn't be like, oh, I wish I could have a candy corn. My husband loves the caramels. I do love the chocolate. So even though that's kind of chocolate, but whatever. Okay. So now I will open up my Advent number 12. I'm wearing my needle minder necklace and it is working. So my new start is in hand. And so it is very handy to have the necklace needle minder. Wow, this is taped up good. I'm going to have to find a different way to break into it. There we go. It's interesting. I have never seen this before. It is an automatic needle threader for 2 sizes. Interesting. I might just try that out and see. Auto needle threader, dual size barrels, makes easy threading easies for medium and large eye needles. Well, you need it for small eye needles, not for medium large eye needles, but we'll give it a shot anyways. So first I will show you my new start. Or should I show you my finish? No, I'll show you my new start. So I don't know if you remember, I got bookmark on one of the days. And so what I did was I took out of, this is from the Pointed Fifth. It's in one of the things, that little cat. Isn't that cute? And what I'm thinking of having is a spider web and a spider hanging down. So that's what I'll probably do today, and then this will be done tomorrow. Now, where am I going to get the idea for the spider? Well, that's from my finish from yesterday. So this was the Halloween, I think it was called Witch's Whiskers by the Sprouting Lupine. And that there is a spider. Now I'm supposed to put eyes on. They were done with French knots and I didn't like them. I tried. I hate French knots. I could use beads, but I actually just like the spider as he is. That's my cat. I accidentally did a whole extra row in between his eyes and his nose. I like it. So I had to do a little bit of fudging, but it all worked out in the end. So you have to just, when you make a mistake, if you're going to keep it, you have to be a little creative. So then I realized I had to do the face, I had to do my border down, do my Halloween. So I couldn't use landmarks. I had to just do the essence of everything. So I spun, and today I'm going to be doing this one, the Watchers. Now this is going to be a bit tricky because unless I do it on pink fabric, which I could, but I don't think it looked good. I was planning on doing that same fabric that I have right now that I've been doing the last ones on, but they have half stitches that are, I think, kind of giving texture or maybe clouds or darkness in the sky. So I'm gonna, that's obviously in a pink or dusty rose. I'm gonna do it in a different color that matches but doesn't match the fabric. So that I hope to be able to do this in 2 days or 3 days. We will see. It's a bit bigger, but it is block stitching too, so should be okay, I think. So then I worked on my, I did this yesterday morning. I worked longer than an hour or 100 stitches. This is my Christmas quilts out of 5 Seasons of Quilts. That's my Christmas quilt. And I made some good progress. So I worked on it until about noon hour. And I'll probably do that again today. So that was where I wanted to get my video started so that I could get to it. So what did I get done? I got done. Oh, I have a needle in there. Is that an extra needle? No, it just came off the needle minder. Okay. So I did, I finished off this present here, and I did the back stitching around, all of that quilt, and I got started on the next quilt. So I hope to get the next quilt sort of outlined. So if I can get it squared off and then start working the pattern, especially on the outer edge. That's sort of my goal for today. Hopefully, if Treat gets called enough times, maybe I can get that quilt finished. That'd be great. Okay. I'm going through this pretty fast, I think. I don't know why. Sometimes it just goes that way. So let's see. Yesterday, nothing much exciting happened. It was a beautiful day and pretty much just stayed at home doing stuff. Had a nice day. Needed that. Today's probably going to be the same. My husband has just left for Hope for Wildlife run, so I'm at home alone, so I just can get sitting and stitching, and might do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. We'll see. But first, start off with stitching. So one of my viewers asked a question. How's Olive doing? Olive is our dog. So I'm sure there's a few out there that are new and may not have known the full story about Olive. Others may have forgotten because who cares? It's not your dog. But I'm sure you do care. She's a lovely girl. So Olive is our, I think, around 14-year-old dog. She's a mix. She's got some Irish Wolfhound in her, but a little bit of Spaniel. I don't know. She's got a whole bunch. She's a Heinz 57, a rescue dog. And she, two years ago last summer, we had been traveling with her across the country back and forth, and she doesn't eat when she's traveled. She gets anxiety. And we took her to a vet, and that vet did x-rays and said she had a big tumor in her stomach and should be put down. He didn't actually say that, but he said he was available if we needed to make the decision. We weren't ready. We didn't like that, but we felt, oh, we're on borrowed time. We're going to enjoy our time with Olive. That was 2 years ago. A year ago last September, she became lame at one point and wouldn't walk on one of her feet. Like she walked on and so we took her to an emergency vet. They did full x-rays. They saw no tumor. After we got that diagnosis with the vet, we switched vets. So we had a different vet from then on. So we found that at that point, they did a full workup, and we found out that she is actually in kidney failure, early stages. So we were to, they gave her some meds, but not many because the medication, pain meds, actually can exacerbate kidney failure. It's not good for your kidneys. So we were to talk to with our vet. She recovered from it was a lack of proprioception, where she didn't actually really realize she had a foot, and she kept just dragging it and landing on it the wrong way. But eventually she got over that. But we got used to carrying her and helping her. And then we talked to our regular vet who we love, that's Sisaboo vet. And he got all her blood work. We started some probiotics, which would help with her kidney failure. We were giving some saline or some saline injections. We've stopped that since because it's pretty stressful to her. We give her some anti-nausea because one of the things with the kidney failure is she builds up chemicals in her bloodstream which make her nauseous and not want to eat. So, and we hand feed her. So we do a lot of hand feeding. One of us, my husband or I, will sleep with her every night so that if she has to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, we can take her out. So last night was my turn, and it was a rough night. She got up at 1 o'clock, and I took her out 3 times, and finally she got back to sleep at 3:30. So it's like having a baby, I would think. I've never had a baby, but so my story about Olive is, number one, she's doing well. She's older. She's getting old, and so she does have arthritis or something. So right now we call it a saggy bottom. So if she stands too long, her bottom just starts drooping down, and eventually she'll sit, but it's just kind of, and then when we walk her sometimes, it's hard for her to walk home, and she starts walking sideways. Oh, the one other thing that happened to her in the past was on New Year's Day, she had a stroke. She recovered from the stroke because dogs actually can recover from strokes fairly well, which is really surprising, and she did. But there's I think a few lasting effects, like sometimes in the night she'll tilt her head and look just like with one eye. So we're wondering actually as if she's got loss of vision in her other eye. Yeah, can't tell. But the main thing right now is we're trying to meet all her needs and watch her. If she is in pain, we do have pain medications to give her. They will shorten her life. It is possible that when we give the pain medication, she may die rather rapidly. So we are holding off until we really feel it's necessary. So in the meantime, we will carry her, we will feed her, we will help her up into her bed, we will adjust her in the middle of the night, we will make sure she gets all her water, her food, her pills, and try our best. But on to the good news of this story. Sorry. Right before I left out west on the Monday, I left on a Saturday. On the Monday, we took her to the vet because we hadn't taken her for a long time. So we wanted blood work just to see where things were at and such. And that was when we bought the pain meds. And we had to get more of her other pills. And so he took blood, and he was shocked. He said, wow, some of her numbers are actually better. One of them is mostly the same, but the other one is actually improved. She has not deteriorated in her kidney failure. She is still in one of the early stages, and that is almost a year. So that, I think he was really surprised at that, because usually it just goes downhill. What I've read is like stage 1 or 2, you can hang out there for a while, but once you get to 3 and 4, it happens really rapidly. But he was just really impressed that so right now she seems to mostly be suffering from old age and arthritis, and there's nothing much we can do about that. We suspect when the weather turns, when it starts to get more wet and cold, we will likely be giving her the pain meds then, because we feel she'll be quite stiff with that. And then that will probably be near the end, we think. But for now, we got a good clean bill of health. So we were excited. right before we went to the vet, we had stopped off at a park for her to go to the bathroom. And when she goes bathroom number 2, she can't, her hind end is so weak, her legs, she can't hold herself up. So we hadn't been paying attention. All of a sudden she's squatting and she's falling into her own poo. And so when we got to the vet, we told him this. We said, oh, because he put the thermometer up her butt. We said, it might be messy back there. She just went to the washroom. And he's like, oh, it's fine. And so then we took her home, and car rides are always really stressful for her. So that's why we don't go to the vet very much, because it is like an hour car ride there and back. And so, so we had that vet. We were all happy of that Monday. And then Tuesday, she doesn't poo. Wednesday, she doesn't poo. Thursday, she doesn't poo. Friday, she doesn't poo. Saturday, husband is taking me to the airport. I'm flying away. He comes home. Still doesn't poo. On the plane, I had free Wi-Fi. That's the new thing with WestJet. So I'm flying, chatting with him. And I got over Winnipeg and we hit a bit of turbulence and it got a bit bumpy. And then he comes back and says, she pooed. And we were so happy that she finally pooed. So we figured it was the turbulence over Winnipeg that caused her to poo. It shook her up. We were trying everything. We tried pumpkin during the week. We tried car rides because we thought, well, that stressed her out, and last time that's what made her poo. We were trying everything, and we still fed her, but she obviously didn't want to eat because now she has nausea and she's backed up. But anyways, she pooed. Then she was very voraciously eating, and everything has been good in that front since. She's just she's a bit of a high anxiety dog now. And that's the other thing. We're not looking forward to winter. We've been really lucky right now because the winds haven't been too strong, because the wind sound will freak her out. Thunder and lightning will freak her out. The sound of rain will freak her out. The furnace clicking on will freak her out. So there's a lot of babying going on, and we're trying our best. But she's alive. She's doing well. She's still old. There's no cure for that, unfortunately. But we're just trying to give her the best. We don't know how long. We never thought she would live this long. When she had the stroke on New Year's Day, we were counting weeks. And here we are into October. So we call her our wonder dog. She's a bit of a wonder dog. She's a lovely girl. She never barks at other people or other dogs. She's just a real sweetheart. Anywho, I shall let you go. I'm going to get off to my treat stitching, and I will see you tomorrow. I will see you tomorrow. So happy stitching, everybody. Bye.